Hi students, welcome to Crash Course. Today we want to discuss about second A group elements. Second A group elements. These are also called as alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. Here, these second A group elements are alkaline earth metals. Why these are called as alkaline earth metals means they are mostly available in the earth crust and they forms a strong basis, so they are called as alkaline earth metals. And here, what are the secondary group elements? Here, the secondary group elements are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Here, radium is a radioactive element. It has the longest half-life period. The half-life period of radium, T half-life period of radium is 1600 years. So the longest half-life period containing element. And these are the secondary group elements: beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. And if the general properties are taken, the first one is atomic radius. Generally, from top to bottom, atomic radius values, what happens? Yes, the atomic radius values gradually increases. And next, ionic radius. Here, ionic radius values also gradually increases. Okay. And next, densities. Here, there is one point to remember in these densities. The densities from beryllium to magnesium, magnesium to calcium decreases. Here, the density values decreases from calcium to strontium, strontium to barium, barium to radium. The density values increases. Why beryllium to magnesium, magnesium to calcium decreases means because of less close packing. Less close packing. Because of less close packing in crystal lattice structures of crystal structures. In crystal structure. In the crystal structure of magnesium and calcium. So, because of the less close packing in the crystal lattice structure of magnesium and calcium, they have larger volume. When there is a less close packing, volume increases, so densities decreases. That is the reason for the decrease in the density values. And next, ionization potential values. Generally, the ionization potential values in a group, what happens? Yes, in a group from top to bottom, ionization potential values decreases. And here IP1, IP2 values are there. IP1 and IP2, when you compare, IP1 values are much more, IP2 values are little bit lesser. And next, electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy values, they have very less electron gain enthalpy values, and these values also decreases from top to bottom. And next, metallic nature. Here, metallic nature from top to bottom increases. The metallic nature increases from top to bottom. The next point, hydration enthalpies. Here, hydration enthalpies, when we are taking for the secondary group elements, the hydration enthalpy values are more than first A group elements because they have less size compared with first A group elements. So these are having larger hydration enthalpies. And in free state means when free ions are taken, beryllium plus 2 has a high hydration enthalpy than magnesium plus 2, next calcium plus 2, and next strontium plus 2, and the next one is barium plus 2. So this is the hydration enthalpy order when they are present in free ionic state, because beryllium plus 2 is having a smaller size, and so if it is taken the free ions of beryllium plus 2, it is coordinated or hydrated with more number of water molecules. So beryllium plus 2 has a high hydration enthalpy, and here if size is taken which is having more, after hydration, after hydration, after hydration, if size of these ions are taken, after hydration what happens? Beryllium is small in size, so beryllium aqueous solution is bigger in size. So the size is also same. It is decreasing gradually, and barium plus 2 is small in size. And conductivity. Here if you are taking conductivity after hydration, conductivity also after hydration. After hydration process, which is better or more conductivity means when size is more, what happens? It has less mobility or movement is less. So beryllium plus 2 aqueous solution has very less conductivity, and the conductivity values increases gradually for the barium aqueous. So because beryllium plus 2 bigger in size means more water molecules are coordinated, so it cannot move freely. Whereas barium plus 2 is having less size. Because of less size, it can move easily, so its conductivity is more. That is about hydration enthalpies. And hydration enthalpy values, when we are taking from beryllium to barium, hydration enthalpy values decreases. Okay. And the next point, here we are taking reducing ability or reducing power. Here reducing power. When we are taking the reducing power for these elements, here reducing power increases. Reducing power increases from beryllium to barium. Here beryllium is a weak reducing agent. Weak reducing agent, whereas barium is a strong reducing agent. Strong reducing agent. Why? Because beryllium is small in size, it cannot donate the electrons. Whereas barium is bigger in size, it can donate the electrons easily. And so in free state, no water molecules in free state, beryllium acts as a good reducing agent, weak reducing agent, and the barium acts as a strong reducing agent. And their reducing power also, when compared with first A group elements, their reducing power is less compared with first A group elements. Next, flame test. Here flame test or flame coloration if you are taking, the first two elements, beryllium and magnesium, no flame coloration or no flame test, no flame color. So they are not showing flame test. Here they are not showing flame test. Calcium will shows it is giving brick red color, and strontium if you are taking crimson red color, and barium if you are taking it is apple green color. So barium is in apple green color. So calcium brick red color, we know red bricks, that red brick red color, and crimson red, a shining or sparkles in the red, and barium apple green, the light raw apple if you are taking, which is not ripened, the raw apple, which is fresh apple, if you see, that is the apple green color. Why? Why beryllium and magnesium not shows flame coloration or flame test or flame coloration? Here beryllium and magnesium, why they are not showing flame test means because beryllium is having 1s2 2s2 electrons only. Here 1s2 2s2 electron, magnesium is 1s2 2s2 2p6, and it is 3s2. So these electrons 1s2 2s2, second 2s2 electrons, and here third 3s2 electrons cannot get excited by the flame energy. So flame energy is not sufficient to excite the electrons of beryllium and magnesium valence shell electrons. So for this reason, beryllium and magnesium are not giving any flame color when we are conducting a flame test for this beryllium and magnesium. Next, the chemical properties first, reaction with air and water. Reaction with air and water. Suppose any secondary group element or alkaline earth metal is reacting with air. Air contains mainly oxygen and nitrogen. Then they are forming MO type of oxides, and they are forming M3N2 type of nitrides. Oxides and nitrides are formed by the second group elements. For example, we are taking beryllium, it reacts with air present in oxygen and nitrogen, and it is forming beryllium monoxide and Be3N2, beryllium nitride. So monoxides and nitrides are formed by the second group elements. Whenever we are taking about these oxides, here these oxides except this beryllium, remaining oxides are having rock salt structure. Rock salt structure means NaCl structure. Rock salt structure is present for the remaining elements, and all the monoxides are stable, means thermally stable to heat, or we can say they are thermally stable. And here only beryllium monoxide is covalent, and the remaining all are ionic. Only beryllium monoxide is a covalent monoxide. Okay. The next point, beryllium monoxide is amphoteric. While all other are strongly basic. They are strongly basic. Here, when these monoxides, for example MO, is treated with water, or directly second group element when treated with water. Monoxides on reaction with water or direct second group element reaction with water, they form MOH taken twice type of hydroxides. Suppose if we are taking BeO H2O, it forms BeOH taken twice. Or suppose if we are taking MgO and H2O, it gives MgOH taken twice. These hydroxides are formed. In these hydroxides also, please remember, in hydroxides if we are taking beryllium hydroxide is amphoteric. Whereas remaining hydroxides, other hydroxides are basic in nature, strongly basic in nature. Here beryllium hydroxide is amphoteric in nature. How we can prove this is amphoteric? When this is reacting with the base, for example, then it is forming BeOH 4 times minus 2. This is called as berylate ion. So it is forming berylate ion. And even if this beryllium hydroxide, which is amphoteric, when reacting with the acid in presence of water, again it is forming the same type of berylate ion, BOH 4 times, and Cl2 is formed. So the beryllium hydroxide is having amphoteric nature, and this amphoteric nature beryllium hydroxide is reacting with a base and gives a beryllium hydroxide, tetrahydroxide. This is called as a berylate ion. Whereas beryllium hydroxide reacts with an acid also, and it gives again same berylate ion chloride. Okay. Another important point about hydroxides is beryllium hydroxide to barium hydroxide. When we are moving, the stability and solubility in water increases. Very important point. They are asking this order. Please remember, beryllium hydroxide to barium hydroxide, stability and solubility in water increases. Why they increases? The solubility increases means the lattice energy is lesser than hydration energy, or lattice energy is increasing, hydration energy also increases, but hydration energy is more compared with the lattice energies. So the hydration energies increases means solubility increases. So because of this reason, the stability and solubility in water increases from beryllium hydroxide to barium hydroxide. This is about hydroxides. Next, about halides. Halides of second group elements here, that is reaction with halogens. Reactions with halogen gives halides. Generally, the halides are formed directly by the direct combination. M plus X2 gives MX2 type of halides. But beryllium fluoride, particularly prepared by using a special method, by taking ammonium fluoroberylate, NH4 taken twice, BeF4, on heating to high temperature, it gives NH4F, ammonium fluoride, plus BeF2, beryllium fluoride. And similarly, beryllium chloride can be prepared by BeO plus C plus Cl2 at 600 to 800 Kelvin temperature. Then it forms beryllium chloride plus CO. So these are special methods or separate methods for the beryllium halides. The remaining halides can be prepared directly. And in this, if you are taking the properties except beryllium halides, all other are ionic in nature. Beryllium halides are highly covalent. They are highly covalent and soluble in organic solvents like benzene, carbon tetrachloride. So except beryllium halide, please remember, except beryllium halide, all other halides are ionic. And beryllium halides are covalent in nature and they are soluble in organic solvents. Whenever we are taking BeCl2, beryllium chloride solid state, if you are taking, it has a polymeric chain structure. Beryllium chloride solid has a polymeric chain structure. Here, polymeric chain structure, how we can indicate? Beryllium, here chlorine, and next chlorine, and chlorine and beryllium and again chlorine, chlorine and again beryllium. Like this type of polymeric chain structure is present for BeCl2 solid state. Whereas if BeCl2 vapor is taken, vapors of beryllium chloride, if you are taking, it is having a chloro-bridged dimer. Chloro-bridged dimer. Chloro-bridged dimer is present. Here how this dimer we can indicate. So this is Cl and this is Cl and here Cl and Cl and beryllium and another beryllium. Okay, sorry, chlorine. This is a BeCl2 chloro-bridged dimer. When this dimer, beryllium chloride, chloro-bridged dimer is heated to 1200 Kelvin temperature, then it is decomposing into monomeric forms. Two molecules of monomer beryllium chloride molecules are formed. So, in solid state, it is present in a polymeric chain structure. In vapor state, it is present as a chloro-bridged dimer. That chloro-bridged dimer will become monomer or decompose into monomers by heating to high temperature. Okay. The next point in highlights the tendency to form hydrates. Decreases. The tendency to form hydrates decreases. Here how we can indicate means MgCl2 8H2O hydrate is present. Next CaCl2 6H2O is present. SrCl2 6H2O is present. But BaCl2 2H2O is present. Means if you see this, it is having 8 water molecules surrounded around the MgCl2. Here CaCl2 6, SrCl2 6, but barium chloride 2 water molecules only. Means the number of water molecules accumulating around that halide is decreasing. This indicates that halide hydrates formation decreases from top to bottom. And next point, when they undergoes to heating, means suppose if calcium, strontium, barium hydrates are heated to high temperature, they becomes anhydrous forms, means CaCl2 or SrCl2 and BaCl2 are formed. But when beryllium and magnesium chloride hydrates are heated to high temperature, they undergoes to hydrolysis. Reaction. They doesn't simply undergoes to dehydration process. Here what is happening is dehydration. This is called as dehydration process. Whereas in this what is happening? Hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means the reaction between water molecules and magnesium chloride, and so furtherly what is formed means a magnesium hydroxy chloride is formed. Generally, so the hydrolysis reaction occurs which gives a different products. We are not getting magnesium chloride. So that is a difference for remaining halides and beryllium magnesium halides. And one more thing, fluorides when we are taking, the fluorides are less soluble. The fluorides are less soluble than chlorides and bromides because of high lattice energy. Due to high lattice energy of fluorides. So fluorides are beryllium or any halides, any fluorides if you are taking, the fluorides are less soluble than chlorides, bromides and iodides due to their high lattice energy of fluorides. Okay, this is about halides.